Hey there, comic book friends. I'm Travis.
And I'm Ethan.
And this is
Monster Comic Reviews.
That's right. This is the second half of the
third week
of November.
Think.
Yeah. And we're going to jump right into talking comics.
Okay, so first up we have Earth's Mightiest Hero, Captain Marvel, issue 6. I really like this issue.
I did too. I liked it a lot. I like, this was the end of the arc.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed the way it ended.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly the whole, her friend, her younger version of her friend, going off and kind of stealing her powers in a way and whatnot. Did that really happen? And was it really her intention to? I don't know. I wonder how much of that was actual and how much of that was just in Carol's head questioning her own choices and where she's at and what she wants to do and that sort of thing.
I think it all happened, but that definitely was supposed to represent Carol's
questioning.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I really liked it. I really liked the way the art worked for the book. Like when she hops into the plane, and there's like, and all of her emotions or all of her movements are being, I don't know, have sort of a feedback,
have a shadow
pasted. Yes.
Right.
And it definitely seems in character to me that Helen would try to take her powers.
Oh heck yeah, because she's all about being a hot dog herself. She recognizes this girl's got superpowers and whatnot, and heck, if there's any idea that maybe she doesn't want them, I'm sure is that going to take them. Right. It's going to get me what I want and whatnot. So the whole thing makes sense now. The little piece that she had of the time machine, of the machine that made Carol who she is and stuff. About issue 3 or 4, that wasn't making sense really.
Yeah, I was just like, what?
This ties it all together really well.
And it does. It makes sense. It's like, oh. Okay.
Yeah. Which was great. I love the whole. I even like the hospital scenes before and afterwards. Yeah. Which is kind of funny and whatnot.
No, the fact that their agreement is that she takes care of her cat and goes to check on.
She's got an agreement with Spider-Woman. Of course, we don't see her Spider-Woman here. We see her as Drew, and they have an agreement. Anytime she disappears, that she's supposed to take care of the cat and check on Helen. That's her job.
That's her agreement.
And Helen and Drew don't really obviously get along at all. But it was pretty funny there.
It was, yeah.
And at the end, with her showing up right as she's going into surgery and whatnot, was pretty cool too. Yeah, it was a very, very enjoyable arc. I think I wasn't sure. I was going to get the first arc and see what I thought of it and what I might do going forward and whatnot. I think I'll keep going forward with it. I think there's a secondary writer who's going to come onto the book because they've got Kelly Sue DeConnick doing so many different books now that she needs somebody to help her write some of the stuff. So
yeah, it was good. I really liked the way they ended it, and yeah, this first arc was pretty good.
Yeah, it was definitely satisfying. It would make a great trade, I think, because you could just because you'd be reading right through it, you wouldn't have that month pause that we have to ponder what's going on and why it's all put together. And it wasn't that it was confusing; all the pieces hadn't come together in the way that it ends up ultimately capped off at the end there. So I thought that was pretty enjoyable. What would we rate this book?
I'd give it a 4, actually.
Yep, I think so too. It ended the arc very, very well. Okay, next we're going to talk about Frankenstein, Agent of Shade number 14 in Rot World.
This issue is so cool. There were some cool scenes in here. They developed Velcoro. That was cool.
Yeah.
I love them dealing with a rot. I also like that Frankenstein's worst fear is Nina dying.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we actually get to see that because
I
didn't see that.
Well, because we're not going to get to see that play out either because we know that in I think 2 issues,
it's gone.
Or maybe 4. Yeah, the series is getting canceled. So instead of us getting to see that whole thing play out, that whole relationship, because I think we would have. Mm-hmm. That this way we're at least the writer's squeezing it in where he can anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, I like Velcoro, and we do. I don't know why he is dressed up like a World War II pilot, but whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it made sense for original Velcoro during Seven Soldiers of Victory.
Sure.
Because he was a World War II pilot.
Right.
I mean, they were made around that time, and they were actually turned into that. Anyway, though, yeah, it was pretty interesting. I like how Velcro is just kind of riding around on horses shooting things. I love how Frankenstein's like, ugh, and Velcro is just like talking to each other, just like shoot. Yeah. I was amused by that.
Scenes.
I also love the fact that when he gets to starts to talk about Nina, that's where Frankenstein tells him to stop.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after at the end of the comic, after they spent all this time, by the way, the Soul Grinder. Do you think that's what Batman was working on? Do you think that's what the big machine is that in?
Could be. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But
they're collecting parts of the Soul Grinder. That's what Frankenstein's doing.
Yep.
He's collecting these different bits and pieces for the Soul Grinder. Yeah, that's supposed to then stop the rot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or at least Frankenstein. The guy.
Right.
But yes, I had a little heart attack at the end because when they fight the huge Colossal,
right,
he frickin' bites Velcro in half.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
chews him up.
no! But then
finally
I'm
developed
hoping,
the character, now
I'm
he's dead.
hoping because he's wearing that limb thing that automatically goes, because you see his legs fall off, and that's it. So I'm hoping that thing will save him.
That'll be cool if that's the case.
Who are the cyber people at the end? Those weird robot things at the end? What are they?
I don't know.
Okay.
Are they like, I almost thought, okay, are they like, technological Amazons or what? Because it's all ladies.
Yeah.
They're all ladies. I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
Haven't a clue.
Cool.
But there's lots of great scenes in here. I love the scene where they ride horseback clear across the entire United States. And so each panel, it's like a different season, and they're like in a different place, by the time they get to San Francisco. There are some panels. The art in this thing is tremendous. I think that I'll draw a his name. Alberto Poncelli is knocking it out of the park.
Yes.
As he's finishing up on this, because of course he's going to be off this book and going on to Dial H. So I don't know if he's stepping up his game in these last few issues and whatnot. But man, it was
really
great.
good
There's some
looking.
awesome scenes of Frankenstein leaping off of things, split stuff in half and whatnot.
Definitely.
It was very cool. I just really enjoy. And it bums me out that the comic's going away, because this has actually been a much more interesting Rot World book
than actually Rot World
than
is.
Swamp Thing and Animal Man has been. This has been outstanding.
I liked Frankenstein a lot since the start. There was one issue that I could barely read because the art on it was so bad. Like Frankenstein's head kind of had the shape of a turnip. Yeah, it was just bothering me. But this entire series as a whole, I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, it's cool. And this was
these last few issues have been really good. Like starting from the Ring of Satan. Is it the Ring of Fire or the Ring of Satan? When they're trying to find out when Frankenstein gets to the Leviathan. From there on, it's just
really when Matt
really
Kent gets on the book, I think. Mm-hmm. When Jeff Lemire steps off the book and Matt Kent gets on the book, it just really steps up. Well, I enjoyed it all the way along, but really stepped up there. I hope DC finds a job for the guy if he wants a job, because I think he's writing his real well. I mean, at least he I don't know, he's in tune with this character and the other characters that are in it. So, great book. I loved it. The art was awesome through it. It had lots of action. The pacing was great. I don't think there's anything really wrong with the book. What would we rate it?
I think I'd give it a 5, actually.
I think so too. Part of me says, is it a 5? Did it really just blow me away? But I mean, it was just so solid.
Yeah.
I mean, entertaining all the way through it. So,
maybe it wasn't necessarily the most mind-blowing thing, but I can't think of anything I would want to complain about within the book.
Right, that's like me. There wasn't anything that was like, oh, well, I could have done that, or...
Nope.
Right, Great book. So what are we talking about next? Yeah, we just went the totally opposite end of the scale on things.
Next up is The Phantom Stranger, issue 2.
Oh, I'm supposed to talk about this book, right?
Oh, I'll go get the lighter fluid.
So I mean, first off, we can just say Dan Didio wrote it. That pretty much, if you've ever watched a review of ours or whatnot, you know what our opinion of it is.
You know where this is going to go. You could just skip all of it.
Yep. This book stinks. What really makes me mad is there are all kinds of characters in this that I really like. Really like Phantom Stranger. I'm interested in Pandora. I definitely like the Spectre. And of course, they flirt more at the end of this book with the Spectre, the character, not as the Spectre, but And you know they're going to put more.
Trigon.
They're going to put more of those people in this book.
Oh, yeah.
You just know it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because Dan Didio, for what really pisses me off, is the guy likes a lot of the same characters that I like.
Yep.
And unfortunately, he's going to destroy them all in the process of reintroducing them into the 52.
Remember how, like, Outsiders is one of my closely following Doom Patrol is one of my favorite superhero teams? I hate Outsiders. The last run of Outsiders was terrible.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare. Guess who wrote that one?
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, and it sucks because we're gonna see all those more obscure kind of culty magical people.
Right.
I mean, we've had Trigon. I'd love to learn more about Raven's other siblings.
Right.
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 Because I think this is the first time I've actually ever seen Trigon in a book.
Yeah, probably for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the book is awful. The dialogue in it is horrific. It's typical Dan Didio dialogue. It's stiff. It's unnatural. People don't talk that way. There's got to be a better way of doing it. I mean, I kind of like the idea of him trying to fake a normal life and whatnot. But I've been humming and hawing about this, and I've decided I'm done. I don't care what characters they introduce in this. I hope that if the characters get introduced in here, in this book,
They'll move on.
that they'll be in something else that I'll be able to enjoy them in. But I think I'm done. I still have to do my order before this month is ended. Today's what, the second or third. So I've got this month started. But I think I've already decided I was going to wait until like the 20th or so to do my comic book order. But I'm not ordering my next one. We'll still get like 2 more issues because I pre-ordered that far in advance. But
yeah.
No. Not unless I suddenly see that there's going to be a writer change on it. I'm not going to read it.
Yep.
Very frustrating.
Yeah,
what would we rate
it
this
sucks. I don't think I can give a fair rating of this.
I give it a 1.
Yeah.
I give it a 1. It wasn't so like if the art was ugly too, then it would have a 0. The art wasn't fabulous, but it wasn't bad. So yeah, I give it a. I give it a very solid 1.
Are you kidding me? I'd give it an extremely weak 1. The only saving grace for this book is the fact that I like the characters in it.
Yeah, that's it. Of course, that's the reason I picked it up in the first place, knowing full well this is a Dan Didio book,
Yep.
and I should just not bother to pick it up, regardless of you OMAC friends out there. At any rate, lastly, we're going to talk about Red She-Hulk number 59.
Okay, so I didn't like this book that much either, but not compared to.
What didn't you like about it?
I don't know. It just seemed like it had a lack of urgency. It felt like they were trying to do scenes like where she gets attacked by like a ton of Avengers, I guess they are.
Yeah, they're all Avengers.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Where I guess the entire Marvel universe practically is Avengers.
Right.
But
yeah, it's an Avenger or an X-Men.
When she gets attacked by some of the Avengers, right? That's an urgent scene. She's flying around on a jetpack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the fact that her buddy is Tesla, that's awesome though. But
yeah.
She's flying around on a Teslan jetpack,
right.
Out of a Teslan jet seat, out of a Teslan jet car. Right? Being chased by Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Thor, and Android Dude.
Yeah,
those are some pretty serious people. I don't know about Android Dude, but the other 3, they're really
heavy hitters. They're the heavy hitters.
They are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get Iron Man and Thor any place, and you definitely got your heavy hitters. And
Captain Marvel's extremely powerful,
yep.
So.
Mm-hmm.
But it just didn't feel urgent.
It didn't feel that serious?
Nope, it really didn't.
Is that because they're trying to bring her in, but at the same time, they don't consider her 100% to be a villain per se, so they're trying to be nice about it? Or you just felt that it really didn't have...
I just really feel that it didn't have... It's not necessarily... Because even though they're like, oh, it's okay. I mean, they said, maybe we can talk, once you're constrained. I mean, they didn't say anything about, hold your punches back a little bit because she might not be evil, right? I mean, although Machine Guy, I'm sure is less into the fray as everybody else because... As far as he can tell, it seems like she's regretting breaking what's his face's neck,
Right.
which I think she is.
Yeah, killing him. Yeah.
But still, it just felt It just didn't have a driving force enough for me.
No, I can see where you're saying that, where it didn't have a level of excitement that you think would be involved, and the fact that it was going to be
being chased by pretty much the most powerful people from the
Do you think that's because she isn't too concerned? Because obviously she's not. Betty Ross, even before she turns into Red She-Hulk, she isn't sweating these guys that much. If they want to mess with her, she's going to mess with them back.
I mean, yeah, but it still feels, it also felt kind of predictable. Like, for instance, an Avenger will say something about, oh, how we don't want to hurt you too badly, we need to bring you in. And then she'll make a zinger about them.
Right.
We don't want to hurt you too badly, we just want to bring you in. Zinger! We don't want to hurt you too badly. Except for Captain Marvel, which I like as she's like, yeah, whatever, you messed with the military. Bam!
Yeah. You screwed with the Air Force, so I'm messing you up. Yeah. Well, I guess I like that, the zinger kind of thing, because it's like, I think it's kind of her poking fun at the Avengers to go, look, you guys are full of yourselves.
Well, I like that, because to some degree they kind of are, and I definitely think that's within what I've read of She-Hulk, that's definitely her character.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like I needed a zinger after every single line directed towards her.
Okay. I liked the comic.
I didn't dislike the comic, it was just nothing special for me.
And I'm looking forward to the next issue where she actually really pummels the crap out of them.
If she's going to pummel the crap out of them next issue, I do look forward to that.
Well, I think she's going to. It's Thor, right? Do you have to pull punches on Thor?
No.
So I'm thinking that they're going to push her hard enough that she's not going to just go Red She-Hulk. She's going to go full on.
Beat them up.
She's going to go full on rage and just pummel them. Well,
I
think it's kind of interesting how she got away from him anyway. She busts the bridge up, so they have to take their time to fix the bridge because, of course, disastrous things are going to happen to people. Of course, that puts her more along the lines of being
a bad guy. I know. Just like.
Well, the only thing that bothers me about the whole plot line is that we get kind of why she's doing what she's doing. She's basically being told by some little girl who's some sort of a psychic that this echelon experiment that's creating these super soldiers in the future is going to create a whole bunch of super soldiers that are pretty much going to exterminate the rest of the human race. They're going to take over. So she's out to stop it. Why doesn't she tell anybody that? I mean, I don't know I guess my thing is I don't know what her relationship is with the rest of the Marvel Universe, only what it was with the Defenders.
Yeah, that's
So I mean, she could be friends with the Defenders and not friends with any of these people, because obviously now these people are in the Defenders. So maybe she obviously has a bad relationship, because all Hulks have bad relationships with everybody else as a general rule. I think the regular Red Hulk, I think he has the best working relationship with the Avengers and whatnot, because he is one.
Well, he is one, yeah.
But otherwise, all the rest of them, Hulks are crazy, mad freakoids, and so everybody just tries to contain them instead of trying to actually have a conversation with them or trying to deal with them. But part of me is bothered by the fact is that she hasn't told anybody why she's doing what she's doing, and they haven't explained why she's not doing that. I mean, obviously these people are unreasonable. They're unreasonable right here to some degree, maybe, but they're not explaining that. That's the one hole for me of the comic is. I like the character though. I like Red She-Hulk.
That is definitely one of the bigger things in this book. Even if it did have the driving force, I would complain about this no matter what, because we all here know that I am not a big fan of the whole annoying superhero. Let's waste time and have the superheroes punch each other up a little bit. I mean, for maybe like an issue, okay, but when it's going to be drawn out, okay.
Oh, come on. You have to admit it'd be really fun if you see him in a knockdown drag out, she grabs hold of Thor, uses him as a hammer, and beats the hell out of the rest of the Avengers.
See, yes, that I would be amused by, but still, on the other hand,
I know. Okay. I still like the art in the book. I like her, she's cool. So regardless, I'm the one that pays for the comics, so we'll be getting a few more issues of it, even if Ethan doesn't care for it.
I'd give it a 3.
I'd give it a 3 too. I mean, there's nothing about it that made it exceptional by any means. But I'm still amused by it. I'm curious to see where it goes. Okay, well that's it, huh?
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll check you out another time. Bye.